All right. Hey everyone, long time no see, obviously. Some people know what's been going on in my life, others don't. Just want to put up a quick video, put on YouTube, share to some stuff. Um, just share with my what's going on in my life a little bit. Lost all faith in general practitioners helping with any kind of prescription. I was put on the same thing to help me sleep as Phil, and it just about killed me too. It put Phil in a coma, um, and in a roundabout way, temporarily shut down my kidneys, built up in my system, and just about did the exact same thing to me. If anybody knows Phil and saw the videos, he was posting, bawling his eyes out, and was unreachable for a month, and then dropped in the gym, and his heart stopped, and he was in a coma for a couple of weeks over that trazodone. Doctor recently did the same exact thing to me when I went in and just asked if there was something that could help me fall asleep at night when I was working late and having a problem winding down. Um, since then, I've been on a little bit of a mission. Everybody, obviously this is the first time in my life that I haven't been uh, bound to killing myself in weld shops and whatnot to pay all the bills to raise my kids. Um, Kids are out of the house now. Obviously, I still try to help my daughter as much as possible, being special needs, taking care of her phone. If she needs some money, I'll send her some or whatnot. But my life's gotten a lot simpler, and I'm starting to realize that the first time in my life I can focus a lot more on myself and building my business and things like that, which is it's kind of exciting. So I'm taking a bad thing that happened, turn it good. Obviously, I was in the hospital the day before that competition, so that threw that for a whack. And if anybody knows me, if I get kicked down, I'm going to come back stronger. So I'm going to focus on the next 3 months, just 100% on my health and mobility and even mental well-being and building uh, my income and ironing out all the loose ends and things, um, and becoming as much better in that as I can, and then be able to go just slowly prep into a late spring show. Still training just bands and balance 100%, straight up one set per muscle per day for the most part, and working on a lot of getting kinks out of things and stretching and um, just becoming generally as healthy as possible, taking my diet to the next level. Um, I reached out, I started figuring out ways to, the way I worked, and for years, obviously, even psychologists or psychiatrists, I should say, were misdiagnosing me. I didn't realize to what end of the spectrum my ADHD was because I've never been a really hyperactive person. The hyperactivity is in my brain, and it exhausts me. And a lot of my anxiety was driven up from things constantly pulling me away from things and not being able to finish tasks. And then I would get what they call ADHD exhaustion, where I just physically tapped out and I would disappear for a couple of days. And I sometimes it was, and it's really painful for me to do things that are like sedentary and repetitive and a waste of my time. Um, so I've made some changes in life. I've even taken my diet to another level. Um, I It was kind of interesting because I went in. I've done like all my blood work. I've had my liver checked, kidneys, my heart completely checked out. Blood work's beautiful, believe it or not. Actually, getting complimented by all the doctors how beautiful my blood work is, and I'm actually coming off of medications that I was on and everything simply by controlling it with my diet. So then I started figuring out that my brain is actually dopamine deficient, And people giving me all these years trying to put me on serotonin stuff was actually backwards. I don't have a serotonin issue, and I'm not naturally depressed. I would get depressed from the exhaustion from the ADHD and anxiety. That drove my depression. Anybody that knows me knows I am a minimalist. I have to have as least amount of things as possible in my life to pull distractions. I can't even listen to music because it gets to a point where it's just noise in my head, and I start to get irritable and crabby. And other people constantly, if I'm doing something, I have to be 100% in it. Anything distraction wise will pull me out. So, like if I'm working out, somebody tries to talk to me, things like that, I have to just completely ignore them, which we should do anyway. We should put our goddamn phone away and shut everything out. I work out now with earplugs in. Sometimes I forget them, and I do pay a price for it, but it drowns out all noises and distractions. I even put my hood up a lot, so I peripheral vision. I don't see things. But then with my diet, I'm able to build up the B6 in my system as a dopamine antagonist, and I'm able to take advantage of tyrosine through foods, and that actually directly converts to dopamine, then converts to norepinephrine, then epinephrine, and you get a lot better sense of well-being and a better focus. And then from there, I supplement with a version of tyrosine that is easy to absorb. So I've been able to, through my diet, manage a lot of that. Then I reached out online with some people that are it's a place that's actually just specializes in ADHD, anxiety, and insomnia, and that's all they do. So I've gone through a rigorous amount of testing with them, and that I found that I was very high on the ADHD spectrum. My anxiety was actually moderate, but the ADHD was causing stress and anxiety to get out of control to where I couldn't manage things. It was very hard, and I'm actually very happy I discovered this. And they were actually pretty impressed that I diagnosed myself with that, and I was controlling a lot of it with my diet. So through that, I'm able to medicate with the proper things in lower doses. Even the general public does, because their diet's shit and their brain is starved of all these things simply from their diet. A lot of people can fix a lot of their mental problems, their depressions, lack of dopamine, things like that with their diet, but they continue to just eat shit based on the palate they've formed over tasting spices and sugars their entire life, instead of their body realizing that it craves nutrients. And then the echocardiogram I went in for, the doctors actually sat down with me, and it turned into a session afterwards. They were all asking me questions about my diet, and one person was following some doctor online that was very similar to the way my mindset is on the diet. And they were like, how do you know these things? And I started kind of explaining a bit the people that that I've reached out to, and it's helped my life a lot. Even my training, they said, I've never seen anybody as good a shape as you. And I explained that I just use bands and balance, and everybody was shocked with that. But through that, then they told me that even today, doctors your basic doctor is taught a very generic bullshit course on nutrition. It's like one of the least things they're taught. Your general practitioners know fuck all about nutrition whatsoever. And they know pretty much fuck all about mental health. So this lady in the cardiac department was telling me that she's been studying nutrition for 20 years and is just now learning some of the things I know. So she was very interested in that, and actually got my information, and is going to touch base with me to work with me. So that was a positive thing in the last few days that's unfolded, and it kind of solidified in my mind that I'm in the right direction, which I kind of already knew, but it just feels good when people, validate that for you. So then through with that, then I started talking to these people that I've reached out to at this group. I'm actually really impressed. I have a prescriber, a wellness counselor, and a coordinator that are with me at all times. There's a constant ongoing chat that we can send stuff back and forth. And they actually have nutritionalists that basically kind of steers people in the direction that I was already doing. So they were quite impressed with that I really didn't even need that part. And they were impressed with the fact that I had recognized what was going on now that I've been able to focus on myself and all these years being fed the wrong medications and things like that and being misunderstood. The only things that I could ever focus on were things that gave me dopamine that I enjoyed, and I would actually go so far into them that I would basically wear myself out and try to push everything out in life. And I'm getting better at learning to manage those things and just furthering my diet, and that's just furthered my hatred for junk food and alcohol and these sorts of things. Eventually it'll take a turn. A lot of people will just start killing themselves off, and the people that take care of themselves will rise up. It's coming. It'll take some time, but it'll come. We just need to be patient. From there, I changed, like, I really don't train the general public much anymore unless they're very serious. I have consultations with people. If somebody can't, take some homework and stretch every day and roll out and take care of their own selves to have the mobility to train with me, it ain't worth my time. If you only come in when I'm there, you're not worth my time. If somebody's battling eating disorders and can't quit binge eating Rice Krispie treats or fucking cookies, things like that, I'm not for you. I should word that differently. I'm not for you. Even somebody basically certified in personal training that can tell you to eat whole foods and give you a decent workout is good enough for somebody like that. I am somebody that is for somebody that's at least been training a few years and has a grasp on some nutrition. And I'm working a lot more with, competitors and athletes and things like that. There are some people in the general public that are doing very well, and I've kept them. And I would select few. I'm training a few days a week. My rates have changed. I'm charging more because I'm worth it. So with that, I'm putting more effort into my online outreach right now. I'm building a website. And from there, I tore down Instagram. I'm just going to put up a business page. My Facebook's going to literally just kind of be for touching base with people closer in my life. I'll share my YouTube videos to that. But then the Team Waz page, I'm going to restructure a little bit, especially now that Phil's dead, because he's obviously not part of it. And I'll put, my YouTube videos on there and updates with clients and things like that, and they'll be able to post to that page. Even like the general people that I work with, there's a guy right now that's traveling. He's bringing his Bosu ball and bands everywhere and eating, and he's doing very well. And he's got a very high travel, lot of hour job that he's got to be dedicated to, and he's making great gains because he's doing it. He's listening to me and doing his thing. So people like that, obviously, I'm gonna put my time into. You don't have to exactly just be a competitor, but my outreach with competitors is going to be better, and I'm going to be able to put more time into them because of the structure of my time. Then I'm going to hire somebody that Justin Harris referred me to for marketing, where he can, like, I basically put something on YouTube and it directly just goes to everything. And then, so I really don't have to spend a lot of time online. I'm cutting social media, for the most part, about 70% out. It's a waste of time. It's a waste of life. You just get exposed to things that are stupid, and they're just going to ban me for another 30 days that I just got another 30-day stint because stupidity irritates me, and people cry too much. But then as far as like HRT, some of my clients, I'm digging in a little deeper and gonna be able to help advise some things to make the help with the HRT. Because a lot of these guys go through their general practitioners and they put them on like 400 milligrams a test once a week. Their total test levels are shit compared to how much they're taking. They get a lot of aromatization. Their SHBG levels go up, and then it's more side effects than it's worth. You can actually take half as much and get more out of it and be healthier and live longer. And then from there, ways to maximize your diet to make everything better. The lack of GH and growth factors that we produce as we get older from sedentary lives, just sitting on our ass doing nothing and shit diets, it's out of hand. And just like, we discussed on the Strength and Physique board, the average male at 21 years old, their testosterone levels anymore are complete shit. Old men have better ones. So this sort of thing is going to eventually it's going to cause a huge problem. And people are going to be even yet unhealthier, which obviously the government wants some of that to go on. They could really, just like I was told from these even doctors the other day, they were like, fuck the FDA. There's family practitioners still telling people to eat margarine. Inflammatories are the things, the root of all evil in our body. That margarine causes inflammation in your arteries, which causes the plaque buildup. And then eating a low-fat diet and not having a balance of the HDL, they put you on a bunch of statins, and you're cornholed into this treatment that has killed people for the last 40 years. The FDA kind of put a blip out that, yeah, we've been wrong. Don't eat, you can eat cholesterol and whatever. And they didn't make a big deal out of it. It's kind of like aliens are real blip that people don't even know about happened a couple of years ago. It's subtle, so they don't have to get the backlash. Some of these things that the FDA touts was very generic. Some of it was 50 years ago, and they haven't updated it because they don't give a shit. The FDA is not on your side. It's a government thing. Okay, it's not good. I'm gonna put it out there. Screw the FDA. Anybody who wants to disagree with me, that's fine. Take it somewhere else. So that the changes to my life, the website, training, nutrition, I've covered that. And then anybody who wants me to cover some things in videos, you're welcome to ask some questions on my basic Facebook page if you want. I'll pay attention to that stuff, and I'll try to make some time to, if there's a big enough calling for it, I'll put some time together and make some videos in that aspect. I'm going to also have videos where, some other people in the fitness industry, we talk together about certain things. I'll coordinate some of that kind of stuff. Even, training, nutrition, you name it, hormones, whatever we need to touch base on just to keep things rolling. And I'm always jotting down ideas that once things are rolling that I'm going to be covering, like the idiot bulkers, hormone Heather, information on things like the foods and the cholesterol and the fats, the sugar fear, whole foods, fasting, intermittent fasting, keto fads, shit like that. What some things are actually good for, and what it's not. The cardio morons, all kinds of those things. Stretching, mobility, and thinking that just more weight is what adds more muscle. Go into stimulation and things like that. I'm gonna touch base on these sorts of things. Take a little time, lay out a structure, and then try to make my videos even a little better quality. I'm looking into some camera equipment, things like that. And from there, I think I pretty much covered all bases there. I just wanted to touch base with everybody, and obviously people have noticed a bit of my absence, and that's what's kind of been going on. So I'm already feeling a lot better, just all around being able to focus on myself in that aspect, which is just going to make me better for people that I help. So that's something that I feel really good about right now, and I'm going forward with that. I cut the fat out of my life. Just kind of beating my head against a brick wall with people that need help in a different way than I what I have to offer is once you get past those phases. Not saying that you know I have like these, I'm not trying to cut on people or anything like that, but for what I have to offer, like I said, somebody with a general knowledge of nutrition and a general knowledge of working out is enough for somebody that just needs to get off the fucking couch and quit eating garbage. So, I'm going to be putting more efforts into the more advanced things and working with those people. So, I hope everybody has a good rest of their week. I got some appointments to get to, and then this afternoon I will be training at the gym for a few hours, and then touching base with some online clients. So I do have to get going. Still have a little bit of meal prepping to do for the rest of the day. Hope everybody. I hope I answered some questions some people had. Hit me up if anybody needs anything. And love y'all. Talk to you later. Bye.